Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the tower. It's rainy. It's 44 degrees. It's Saturday. And, I don't know. I didn't have any plans this weekend, and the petty part of me is kind of happy that ain't nobody got plans now. I'm such an asshole. I really am. I never claimed to be perfect, y'all. Never claimed it. Let's see what we got going on today, huh? Let's do a general 3D 45D of the most my bad. The weather's changing, so this constant post-nasal shit going on never goes away now. Did not have allergies when I lived in New York. But it's funny because allergies make sure that everybody stays really far away from you now. Alright, so the 3D 45D reading, the part of the 3D 45D, is simply just the most influential timeline affecting the collective at the moment. Doesn't necessarily have to be your timeline. It could be somebody else's timeline. You'll know. It'll either resonate with you or it won't. They're timeless, so they're whenever you stumble upon them. Because time and distance and space, it's all completely irrelevant. Probably more so now than ever, or at least in a very, very, very long time. We need, you know what? Yeah. A deck of many things. Oh, I bet you that pisses him off too. Man. It's so funny because yeah, I created this deck with Rob, but it's not. I did, but I didn't. I did, but I didn't. This deck is mine. But if he wants to take credit, he can. There is some of his in here. I've gotten a lot of questions about it, and it's just like people are just. It's funny as shit. People are like, oh, we thought you guys were like so amazing, da 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 da. We thought it was all perfect, and it's like, I'm sorry if I hurt y'all's feelings with that, but yeah, it's social media, guys. Social media. Oh, you know what it is? People are so used to regular people on the internet, and regular people on the internet are very, very obvious about what's going on, right? Well, I mean, I'm even obvious, but it's like, I don't know. If I'm getting in an argument with somebody, I'm not going to, like, go to social media for my mediators. But it is what it is. And it's like I explained it. We explained it. I mean, I don't know how many readers and all that you guys go and see to, coaches and whatnot, always say what frequency is very important. I got go ahead, pump, make my day. Just fear me, love me, do as I say, and I will be your slave. Ooh. That's too many. Funny. I got the Labyrinth deck out too today. That's it? Just those two? Okay. I will say that was, and that is something that I can talk about. That was a huge perspective difference that we had. And all my exes will attest to it. It is hard to live up to my standard of what I feel a man should be, right? Because deep down I am a feminine, you know, as masculine as I am with all my fire shit, I am a feminine. And my standards of what a man should be is my grandfather. And, nobody can live up to that. It's weird because here's the thing. My favorite story about my grandfather is the day that he was having a tree cut down in the backyard. And my grandmother was losing her shit because she doesn't handle anxiety at all. Like, you know, it's a big thing, especially she's OCD as hell. So, like, her space is very, very important to her. Things are just so precise. Her plants are her everything. So they were going to be rolling this little machine through to cut down the tree, and she was stressing out that she was worried that the machine would be too wide and it would damage her plants. So my grandfather went to the garage, got a bunch of pots, and dug up all her plants, put them in pots, and put them on the patio where they would be safe, right? They cut down the tree, and my grandfather's a beast, right? They rented the machine. He did all this himself, right? I think one of my uncles helped. And they cut down the tree and everything, stacked the logs. He's 82. Stacked the logs, and then he puts all the plants back. And then when he's done putting all the plants back, he sits down on the porch. And he grabs a beer and he sits down on the porch. And my grandmother comes out and she sits down. And she proceeds to swing around and throw her feet in his lap. And he just sits there drinking a beer, rubbing her feet. And I told this story in a video, and I guess it must be one of the ones that Rob actually watched. And he was like, oh, you just want someone who'll be your slave. You want a slave. You want someone who'll do whatever you say. And I'm like, nah, because that's a big thing that happens in the spiritual community too. We do a lot of, you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Truly. You have to be able to love yourself before you can genuinely, unconditionally love somebody else. And a lot of people think that they need to be healed in order to do that. No. You're not really broken, you know. We talk a lot about this with mental illness and things like that. And people with mental illness suffer greatly with this because it's like, well, what do you do when you have OCD? You know, I mean, it's not like people who have anxiety and OCD and things like that. It's not like we aren't aware of what's going on. Like, me snapping and getting loud and all that's an anxiety attack. That's what that is. You know. And it's not about being a slave. So, my grandfather is not a slave to my grandmother. There is plenty of things my grandfather does that my grandmother does not like. Some of the funniest stories with them is I could bust my grandfather out. He gets into plenty of his own shenanigans, and when push comes to shove, what needs to get done gets done. Like, my grandmother has a massive anxiety about money. She wouldn't have accumulated what she has if she wasn't like this, right? So, but she's a very hard time spending it, right? She was always one of those people. Like, she would get mad if, like, she'd be like, the pickles are gone, da-da-da-da-da. And my grandfather would be like, what are you saving them for? Why do you buy food if we're not allowed to eat it? He goes, you get upset every time something's gone because you have to buy more, right? But if it needed to be done, my grandfather made sure it got done. He had major say in that. But they balanced each other out, right? Or they still do. They balance each other out. And he is not a slave to her. The things he does for her is because he loves her. He's retired. They've been married since, I think my grandfather was, I'm thinking he was 22 and she was 18. Now they're 82, 86. And it's not like they didn't have hard times, you know? And that's what you talk about, the evolution of people. People rarely evolve to stay together and to stay happy. Because they're genuinely happy people, too. They had a hard time. It got good. It got real good. My grandfather, was a photographer for a newspaper. And made good money, lived in a good neighborhood. Right? My grandfather became a big man in his 40s, right? And he had 1 or 2 heart attacks. He had triple bypass surgery, I know that. And my grandmother essentially just deemed him too unhealthy for sex and said she wasn't going to sleep with him again until he got his shit together with his health. And now my grandfather eats whatever my grandmother tells him to. And he takes any medications and any pills and vitamins and anything else that she tells him to. It's love, y'all. He just does it because he loves her. It's so funny. People take it too much. Too much. Right? You don't need to fix yourself in order to find love. Right? You do need to be able to love yourself. And healing isn't about fixing. Healing is about learning how to love yourself despite of all your quirky flaws. Right? That's the thing. You have to love your own imperfections. And if you can love your imperfections and find a way to make your quirks work for you, then you will attract in people who counterbalance your quirks. For whatever problem you have, they have the opposite, right? If you're really forgetful, they remember everything. But whatever, you're better at doing other things, right? To balance out. You got OCD, so you're always cleaning, you don't really accomplish much. Balances out, right? They balance each other out. All right. On the 3D, this is trippy because the 3D is very, very different from the 4D. Okay, as I said before in the beginning, right, with me breaking up with Rob and everybody being like, oh, such a shocker, such a shocker. This is how it goes. 3D, what? This is how people supposed to be, right? This is how people portray. This is what people assume. This is the most basic, don't even have all the knowledge, right? We got a magician here. Right, I like him in this deck too. Banging on his drums. Got the monkey. Right? So, we got the magician. You got the 4 of Wands. In this deck, it says completion. We got justice. Love that. The feather in the heart. Queen of Pentacles. And the Sun card here at the end, right? So, on the 3D line, I'm definitely getting there's been a lot of judgment calls. I see that there's been a completion cycle. All right, a completion cycle with the magician. Right? There's been a completion. There's been judgment calls made. There's been what? All my decisions are based on the fact that when I pass, I genuine, not really, like, do I believe it'll literally happen, but how it's in my mind is what is how heavy will your heart be when you pass is the decisions that Queen of Pentacles here is trying to make, right? The Queen of Pentacles for me is also very nurturing, grounding, earth energy, right? Like how there's a goat with it in this deck too. I don't know. It's just something about the goat and the oasis off in the distance, right? Like, I get a sense that this person's purposely sitting off to the side, but you get the sun here at the end. I just get a sense like the imagery is like off to the side but happy anyway. Alright, what's on the 4D? And this is probably why it got so heavy there when I was reading all that. Right? The truth. Let's pull back the curtain a little bit, right? The 4D. The 4D is what's on people's minds. The 4D is nature for me, but it's also where the telepathic links between people exist, right? That's what we... Yeah. Right? There's a debate. Definitely. Right, now this is the regular justice card. Definitely feel like this person is suffering, feeling like there's a lot of injustice. A lot of injustice, a lot of anxiety, a lot of focusing on spilt cups, a lot of hermit mode right now, right? But I'm really seeing this as a dark night of the soul energy for this person, right? I can't help it. All right, so this, for real. Not trying to be a bitch. We all go through those depressive, and that's a type of OCD too. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, right? You can have obsessive compulsive thoughts. That does happen. That is the anxiety of OCD, right? It's an obsessive compulsive thought. It's gonna bother me until I fix it, touch it, change it, whatever, right? This is a drama queen card. I'm thinking about that monkey with the magician too. The monkey mind is out of control. The monkey mind is focusing on all these other things, right? And I definitely get a sense that this is the energy on one side of it. And then this is learning to take control. Take control of the thought processes here, right? What are you doing? Right? If you're here and stumbled upon my little channel, then you should have already been digging deep enough on the internet, and you've watched enough videos, and you've studied enough stuff, and you've been through enough rabbit holes to understand what this, what can't, never, could, do nothing. What, center yourself, ground yourself, and do the things that you say that you know. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that, right? Because on the 3D, I got that magician energy, right? Okay, so on the 3D, you got you had the magician and the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles off to the side, right? So everybody's grounding and centering right now. This person, the magician, whatever, didn't conjure the way he wanted to. So gotta center it. Why am I keep doing this? Because this is the final card on the line. Right? Everything happened for the perfect purpose of putting you in the path that you are on right now. Right? Whenever you have a major shift, whenever you, especially something big enough to trigger a dark night of the soul type of energy, it's a redirection. All right? It's a redirection. Whatever it was, see, this is another thing that people don't seem to get when you fuck around with magic and you're not paying attention, right? One, far as I'm concerned. And then in this tower, how magic works is slow on the 3D, right? It takes time to manifest on the 3D. It takes time for the energy to build. It takes consistency and focus of intention, right? And it also takes a level of the most powerful kind of magic is the set it and forget it. Now, if you're in the Coven the Silver Cord, you can go over to the file section, and there is a thing on sigils there, and the importance of making sigils. And when you do it, you create the sigil. And the whole point of creating the sigil is you'll pick a sentence or whatever it is you're conjuring, you create it, and then the objective is you're supposed to forget. You're supposed to forget what the sigil actually stands for. Or you're supposed to release it in some sort of way, right? Once you set it and forget it, people don't realize is that when it comes into play, when you set it and forget it like that, when eventually it does come into play, it's going to have to flip everything. It has to flip everything. But if you deviated too far off of it, it's got to do a lot of work and crash a lot of shit to bring you back to where, or to bring you to the spot that you wanted. I mean, get mad at me all you want. Rob right now has exactly what he asked for when he first met me. When he first met me, that's what he wanted more than anything in this world, was what he's got right now. So now he's just got to figure out what. Destiny gave you exactly what you wanted. What are you going to do with it? Shift your focus. On the 5D, alright, so the middle energy of the 5D is the 8 of Cups here. So there's definitely a working on moving on energy, right? You got a Knight of Pots. Reversed, right? A Knight of Pots reversed. But there's the... nothing nice to say right now. There's not, the energy's not nice. The energy is just not nice. It's not nice. Has bad thoughts, has mean thoughts, right? Right? Y'all don't think that the 5D versions of yourselves can be petty. They can be petty as shit sometimes too, man. Just because it's still you. I mean, you guys are so funny. It's still you, right? I always say it's always like, you got the Mother, the Man, and the Crone, and then you got the Youth, the Sage, and the Warrior, right? So you have different levels of maturity and everything else that goes through that. I don't know how else to explain it to y'all right now. But the 5D doesn't have any very loving energy going back and forth in this connection, right? You got the 5 of Junk reversed. I love how it's junk in this deck. The 5 of Junk reversed. So... and I get the sense that you want to come out of the negative energy connection, right? Well, there's only one way. There's only one way to get rid of that negative energy connection, right? And it's accept that you have to move on from it, right? Got to accept that you have to move on for it. I got the reverse Tower here too. I got the reverse tower here at the end, and I also got the 3 of rods reversed. Or 3 of poles reversed, right? I got be mindful of returning towers. Be mindful. This is the other thing that always like seems to drive people insane. What? Stop dating people that you've already broken up with, right? Stop going backwards. It didn't work with that person, right? It didn't. I never understood this. I never understood going backwards all the time. Be mindful. The only thing more dangerous to you than getting stuck in your current comfort zone is returning to an old one just out of loneliness, right? I get it. You're not using your preparation, foresight, and not listening to, what is it? Foresight, insight, and preparation. There's something else I'm missing here. There's a word that I've dropped. Probably because this is all in the 5D, so it's not a lot of physical action that you can do here. But there's a lot. You need to ground. You need to center. You need to really think about what it is you're supposed to be working on right now. I get a sense, allow towers to happen. Allow that release to happen. And yeah, just... Oh my God. Yeah. Right? Heavy energies, y'all. Heavy energies. And now, you can't cookie cutter this into one person's reading. And I try to say this all the time. It's like, how can you read for a collective? You have to just be thinking about one person. No. You would be amazed how many people are on very similar timelines all the time. And that's what's always got me the most. It's, yeah, so many people are in such similar situations. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. We got the shadow here is hiding your true self. That's probably also why that 5D Knight of Cups is reversed. Right? This person is not even being nice to themselves. They're not being nice to themselves. I get a big sense of not liking the reflection. There's definitely a battle with the mirror here. Hiding your true self. Right? I don't know why I got Aladdin. Be yourself. Okay. So we also got the winter solstice here. So this energy is definitely, if you're watching this new, right now in the time that we're actually in, what is it, November 2021, right? There's going to be a lot going on between now and the winter solstice. Well, actually, whoever you are, whenever you are, now in the winter solstice. This is a time of reflection, right? Whether you ended up being the Queen of Cups in this reign, or Queen of Pentacles, or the Magician here, this is a time of reflection. If you're alone right now, this has been given to you as a gift from the universe to figure your shit out for a little bit, right? I'm just getting, it's just an acceptance of reality, right? Of reflecting on yourself a lot. This is a dark night of the soul. It's supposed to be. You're hiding your true self, not because you're afraid of other people's judgments. You're judging yourself too harshly, and you have to figure out how to let that go so that you can be your true self, right? And the thing is you can't be somebody else. It'll never work if you're pretending to be somebody else. You have to be you. You have to be able to be you. And if you can't be you and you have to force yourself to pretend to be somebody else, then it's just not worth it, y'all. Not worth it. get a story time and an all signs. Ha! Hey, it's my number. And it's the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, Jesus. Right? I'm trying so hard over here. Oh, Lord. Been having to talk about that with the kids lately, too. Talking about Jesus. I was like, I had no problems with Jesus. Had a lot of issues with the rest of the book, but never really had any problems with Jesus. All right, Queen of Cups, Crossroads, 22. One of my big numbers. My life path number is 11-2. If you guys don't know your life path numbers, you should look them up. You just opened on 11. It's the whip in this book. That's some funny shit. Sorry. Funny to me. I'm having a good morning. I hope you guys are having a good morning. Dude, the only good thing about just cutting yourself off from everybody is just generally it's the peace. I mean, I feel bad. I love everybody to death, but sometimes people just have to cut all cords, right? And retreat back into their own energy for a while. We got the Queen of Pentacles, 22, the Crossroads, path, decision, direction, and choices. I should do it like this. I saw one lady do it like this. The path taken remains a quintessential motif in the world of fairy tales. Many hero and heroines is made at this critical point. The road will take you... See, I can't read like that. I'm light. I'm blind. My glasses would probably help. The road you take will influence everything else that happens. Where the crossroads appear in your spread, you have choices to make. Which direction will be the best one for you? There are many hidden faces here. These are your subconscious thoughts helping you make the most of this card. Do you take the left or do you take the right path? You must weigh all possibilities to make the right decision. This card won't give you all the answers, but the nearby ones might. Help clarify the situation. Pay attention to all the options available to you. The closer to the card that represents you, then the more time sensitive the decision is. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is not make any decision at all. I say that all the time. Indecision is a decision. Not making a decision is a decision, and not make a decision. All right. Let's get to it. All right. So, Crossroads, decision time. All signs. What are we going to do? I've loved you. If you've listened to me ramble this long and you're going to continue to listen to me ramble this long, if you could please timestamp for me. 3333. 3333 on the clock. Boom. Oh, it's dinging. Something on my desk is like metallic. All right, Aries. What have we got? 6 of junk. King of feathers. Knight of feathers. You could be definitely dealing with an air sign. The Knight of Feathers in this deck is definitely somebody who's super duper guarded, right? This is a very guarded Knight of Feathers. Knight of Swords, very defensive, right? Oh my God. So for me, I'm getting a strong sense with you, Aries, is you are trying to figure out to where best to invest, right? I definitely got a King of Swords here energy. And the King of Swords is very intellectual, clear thinking, right? They don't say things to hurt your feelings. They just say things that are true. And even if it does hurt your feelings, it's said with the best of intentions, right? And I'm getting a sense with the Six of Junk for me, it's always like a give and take of energy, right? Reciprocating energy. So just be mindful that if it's someone who loves you that says something that may hurt your feelings, that really try to think of where it came from, because if you love them, they probably love you too, and it came from a place of love. That's the energy I'm getting off of that. I got this Knight of Swords, immature, super duper defensive energy here, right? Very guarded, right? I also get the sense of the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords might even be the energy that's in front of this King of Swords too, right? The King of Feathers might be this guy inside the armor, right? But the Knight of Swords can be opinionated, can be hasty, can be... yeah. I just get a strong sense of just be mindful of whatever decisions that you're making, right? Be mindful, don't do the returning tower shit for sure. This could be two individuals coming into your life that you need to figure out how, and not always romantic, right? Figure out how to delegate your energy evenly, right? One. And two, I get a strong sense of don't judge books by covers. Taurus. Taurus, you got Temperance here, which is the door knockers. You got the Queen of Pots, and you got the Three of Pots. With Thanksgiving and everything coming right now, I've got to take your time on decisions and really weigh out everything before you make any big decisions. Right now, I get a strong sense of, honestly, if you're in America, I get a strong sense of focusing on the holidays. Oh, not even America. That's everywhere, right? We just have Thanksgiving coming up. But with the Queen of Pots here and the Three of Pots, it's just like, yeah, I get a strong sense of don't worry about making any big decisions. Really weigh them out. And, wait till you can get some solid advice and make some solid decisions in the celebrations that are coming up here with the holidays, right? Gemini, I got the Page of Poles, the Hangman, and the Nine of Pots. Alright, so, I don't know. She's the Page of Poles. Should I read the definition? No, just go with that. Okay. Really? All right. So I'm getting a big sense that someone has a very I get that they got the hots for you, but they don't know how to express that very well. Oh, give me 1 second. And that is why I paused. Okay. Gemini. I get a sense that there is someone here, either for you or you have for somebody else. I get a strong sense of a lot of lustful energy, right? I got the Hangman reversed here with Ludo, so I'm getting a strong sense that somebody's holding themselves back. I get... See, this is crazy, right? 9 of Cups, see? Right, so you got the Page of Poles here, and you got the Ludos hanging upside down. But look at the Page of Poles. He's one of the guys that attacks Ludo. Wow. I just got a huge sense of maybe this person was a bully to you in your past. Is it somebody from your past? Right? Because I'm getting a very immature energy of, you know, when your parents used to tell you, like, you know, Johnny's pulling my hair in school. Oh, it's because he likes you. I get a sense of this. I get a sense of somebody kind of picked you apart because they liked you. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. If you guys can get past the past, this is a 9 of Cups. Right? So... There's definitely 2 major timelines, of course there is, because it's Gemini, right? So on one face, this is someone coming back from the past that may have said some harsh things before. But I have a sense that whoever it was triggered a lot of growth and transformation for you, right? Because the other part of the other face of this is, I get a sense with the Hangman here is a lot of loneliness. But coming out of that, like it's a, because the Hangman in a regular deck is a chosen loneliness, right? And I feel like it took a lot of time to work on that and to get into a 9 of Cups energy, which is probably what attracted this person. And I feel like you're, yeah. The only thing you need to worry about, don't let the past get to you. Put the past where it belongs, in the past, right? Now, if the other person is Ludo, and you might have said some harsh things, right? I get a strong sense of letting, there's definitely past energy. I'm just getting huge past energy. 9 of Cups, though. 9 of Cups. I get a sense it's going to be work, but it's going to be okay. And don't rush it with that Hangman, right? Sometimes your head's still on for a reason. Ludo got tied up. He would have never gotten saved by Sarah if he was never tied up, right? Ooh, never tied up by the Page of Poles. There's probably something Page of Poles like to do. Alright. Alright, we got the Knight of Poles here. Who are we on? Cancer. Knight of Poles. 2 of Feathers. Queen of Feathers. There needs to be a truce here. You got the Knight of Poles, Knight of Fire, right? Knight of Wands. You got the Queen of Feathers here, right? Queen of Swords, right? She's in charge, high perspective, things like that. And I got this, and I get that there's definitely, there needs to be a truce or something in between these two players. Needs to be a truce. There needs to be a decision. There needs to be communication. The Knight of Poles. I'm gonna say this is you, because the Queen of Feathers is not the kind of person. Whoever you are in this reading, right? However this is resonating. Whoever is the Knight of Poles, and whoever is the Queen of Feathers, you know who's who in your timeline, right? Knight of Poles, you're defensive. You're defensive, and you could try to Knight of Poles plays that kind of game of, I don't want to be in a relationship because secretly I'm really scared of them. So my armor is I do friends with benefits or things of that nature, or I play like I'm seeing a bunch of people, but I'm really just seeing the one person. But I don't want them to know that, because then, and you're causing all kinds of fucking drama, because the Queen of Feathers just doesn't, she's not stupid. Right? So either you're causing problems because she can see, like, whatever you're putting out there, she sees that and she's like, well, fuck this. I'm not going to make a decision if they're not going to make a decision. And yeah, you're going to end up screwing yourself for real. All right. If you're the Queen of Feathers, yeah, they're just being defensive and immature. They're being defensive and immature. But I do get a strong sense that a lot of this, the defensive energy is coming from the Knight of Poles. You're not going to be able to make a truce if they don't drop the armor. So if you are the Queen of Feathers in that, you need to figure out. Yeah. As bad as it is for the knights to be Captain Save-A-Hose, right? It's just as bad for us to be, the women are not rehab centers for broken men, right? It's not your job to sit there and chink apart somebody else's armor, right? You can't force that stuff. And if you do, you'll compromise the connection. They have to be willing to drop their guard themselves. And if you're the Queen of Feathers, you might want to think about, because the Queen of Feathers can have the same problem as the King of Feathers. It's like they're coming from a place of love, but you could be coming off super intimidating. Actually, is what I'm getting there. Super intimidating. Remember, the fairy in this one, the fairies in the labyrinth bite. Shut up. Knight of Poles probably likes that too. All right. I'm in such a weird mood this morning. Who we got? Leo, we got the Six of Cups, the Star card, and the Five of Cups. It doesn't seem like it's a very happy teddy bear. Some out of poo. Jesus Christ. I'm losing my mind. Okay, I got a little Pooh Bear here, right? I'm sensing there is like a... Sorry, that just came out like that. Right? There's someone definitely giving off... They are looking back on the past, right? And they're trying to use it to calculate the future. But every time they try to calculate the past to the future, they end up creating negative timelines, negative thought lines, right? It's immediately, you think back on as soon as you think back on the past and you try to calculate it to the future, you start thinking about all them spilled cups, right? All the missed opportunities and things of that nature. Right? Can't calculate the past, right? We're not writing old timelines. You want to break a pattern, you break a pattern yourself. All right? I'm getting Pooh Bear again. I'm so sorry, Leo. But I've got the song stuck in my head. And it's like, when I up, down, touch the ground, puts me in the mood. Up, down, touch the ground, in the mood for food. I'm short, fat, proud of that, and speaking poundage-wise, I improve my appetite when I exercise. I have no idea what y'all got going on. I do get a sense that there is some self-love that needs to be done here, right? The sense of loving yourself for who you are was a big message in the beginning, right? I love that. The song is very empowering for Pooh. We got my sister a singing bear that did that when she was pregnant with my first nephew. And I'm just getting a sense of, I think there's a lot of learning to love your own softness. And perhaps that's what happened in the past, right? You're still dwelling on what you used to look like. And you're not learning to love who you are right now. And you're putting that calculation, that's what you're putting into the future, right? You're casting this negative vibration of, no one's going to like me because I'm not an Instagram model, right? And that's not true at all. You'd be surprised how many people actually really like softness instead. Yeah. So that's either you or it's the person you're dealing with is having I also got the message there too, because I was talking to my friend Luna about that the other day too. Now, me and her have always had opposite body types our whole lives, right? She's always been super real skinny, and I've always been on the thicker side. And it used to be a thing. It used to be a thing with us. She'd cry. She was too skinny. I'd cry. I was fat. And we were talking the other day, and we were laughing. It's like, and I just, that whole song of I improve my appetite when I exercise. It's just like, it's not about the looks. It's not about the look. If you're exercising, one, do not exercise to punish yourself for eating. That is a horrible way to go about it and a wonderful way to self-sabotage. You don't exercise to punish yourself for eating bad food. You exercise to be healthy, to be strong, to be able to lift a milk crate, to be able to whatever, to be able to cook Thanksgiving dinner without getting winded, right? That's why you exercise. You can be a heavy-set person and be healthier than a skinny person. Case in point, my friend Luna, super duper skinny, eats fast food all the time. I'm sure if she went and got her regular blood work done, it's going to be jet to hell. Because we call her, she's unhealthy skinny. I'm healthy and thick. Difference. Well, I am now. I've been unhealthy too. Everybody goes through phases. It's all about evolving. Anyway. Sorry, some of these just come out like that. Who are we on? Virgo. Virgo, all I got to say to you is, one, it's all as dramatic as you choose to make it. All this drama, you have to engage in it. You have to invite it in. I mean, some of the things that people tell me sometimes, like when I'm beating people or whatever, and they'll tell me some crazy shit went down at their house or whatever, and I'm like, why do you invite that level of drama into your space, right? Why am I saying this? You got the 7 of poles, you got the 5 of feathers, and you got the 8 of feathers here. You're not stuck. I hate that. I hate people who are, I'm stuck. No, you're not. You're choosing to be stuck, right? There was major conflicts, there was a major battle, and now you feel all stuck, and you're not stuck. It's a choice, right? I mean, the 8 of Swords has a lot of going into taking the right time to do things, right? Because it's usually the woman with the blindfold, and she's got really loose, like, ties on her, and the swords in the ground around her. But yeah. You're stuck as long as you want to be stuck. If you start opening your eyes and looking for opportunities to escape, you'll find them. You know what I'm saying? Use those 8 swords stuck in the ground around you to cut your binds and get the fuck out of there if you're having a hard time, right? If you need to plot and plan to get out, then plot and plan to get out, right? There's been a major battle. You need to either use it to your advantage, or you can sit there and wallow in it. Libra. All right, you got the Four of Feathers, you got the Nine of Junk, and you got the World card here. There is just a lot of focus on getting travel. I got that labyrinth with the World there, though. And I just feel like you're on the edge of completing one phase and getting into another. There's a thing, there's this, I don't know, I'm getting this vibe, right? The Four of Feathers. A second. It's giving me a headache. Ah, I was right. The Four Noble Truths. There are four. The Four Noble Truths. There are the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, and the truth of the end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering. All right. So attachment is the source of all suffering. Suffering is inevitable. The only way that suffering ends is death. That is the fourth truth, right? So I got a sense of, be mindful where you're focusing in. With this Nine of Pentacles energy, focus on money all you want. It's not going to stop the suffering. I'm getting a strong sense that you need to do some traveling, right? Libras, I get a really strong sense to just, yes, please look into the Four Noble Truths, right? Yeah. I get a strong sense of an urge to need to connect before you miss an opportunity to connect, right? Or a sense of just focusing on not being able to connect as much as you want, right? Be mindful of where you're focusing on. I get a sense that there's a lot of focusing on work to distract yourself from other things, to try to hide yourself from the suffering that you're actually going into. To complete the cycle, you have to actually create a new cycle. Scorpio. Ooh, I'm hoping these are making sense for y'all. Scorpio, you got the Wheel of Fortune, the Demon, and the Six of Swords. All right, I get a sense that you are at the precipice of creating a new cycle or repeating an old cycle, right? You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Demon, and the Six of Swords here. And the Demon in this deck for me is the Party Goblins. There's a strong sense of you have the opportunity to create a new, you're at the precipice of being able to create a new timeline for yourself. But you need to be mindful, because when you spark up in these moments, you attract in all kinds of things. The demon is usually, like for me, it's the devil. It's codependent, toxic connections, right? In this deck, it's, Sarah almost gets her head ripped off by these party goblins because they don't even realize that they're going to hurt her or anything else like that. They just want to party and play. And is a really strong call to get away from the party goblins here, right? Move on from them. It's a rite of passage. If you really want that nice timeline, you got to sacrifice something. Got to let go of things that are hurting you. Sagittarius. I got the Tower, the Five of Junk, and the Queen of Junk here, right? I want to get the book on the Queen of Junk, because I haven't seen her yet, and she's actually one of the big characters. I'll show you in a second. Give me a second. Alright, so we all know the Tower, right? Definitely a big precipice, a crumbling moment, right? Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. We got the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Junk is a nurturing figure who wants for nothing. She has everything she needs in life and more, and a sense of security that comes with wealth and material abundance has made her comfortable and generous. I get a strong sense too. I don't know, I'm getting a sense of a tower and a learning to be happy with what you got, right? You're either the Queen of Junk. I love it. Right? Or you're running into this person. Right? I'm saying it this way and not as somebody who was part of the Tower, because the Tower came before, right? So the Tower has happened. You're feeling out in the cold. There is definitely a worry about money and materialism there in the middle. And then you got this Queen of Junk. And what I love about this deck and the Queen of Junk is the Queen of Junk, value is all in what you put value into, right? That's why I find it so funny that they use junk in this, because in the Labyrinth, junk was everything. Right? There was no money system. It was just stuff. You collect junk. Junk you can make anything out of, right? It's all what you can... Yeah. Now there is a warning definitely with this character in the movie. Is you... the danger of comfort zones, right? All the goblins in the Labyrinth are babies that Jared has stole over the years. All of these guys were girls that didn't make it out. Just throwing that out there. It's important for somebody. Alrighty. Here we on Capricorn. He's so good. He's sitting here on my lap. I got a kitty. Turned out to be a boy, and he follows me around screaming constantly. It's terrible. Alright, Capricorn. We got the 4 of pots. We got the 2 of shields. Guess that's junk. It's 2 shields, though. Oh, no. I guess they're wheels. I'm just a weirdo. And we got the 3 of wands. All upright. Well, I get a sense of be mindful that you don't overindulge too much with things that are coming up here. 2 of junk. Balance your finances. With me saying the shields there, one of these shields is broken. I'm getting a sense for you, really. It's be mindful of overindulging with your finances. Definitely with the 3 of poles there, it's preparation, foresight, and intuition. Put all that into play. Oh, I'm getting just a big message for you, Capricorn, is the big decisions you're going to have to make is don't go broke impressing people, right? For real, with the holidays coming up. I'm getting this big thing to tell you that. What? People love you the way you are. I know Cappies can be hard to deal with at times and things of that nature, but you can't buy affection, 1. 2, you don't got to be that extra, baby. You just don't. Yeah, just be mindful. Don't overindulge, especially in anything that'll make your words flow too freely. Usually the 4 of cups is, I always get a message of overindulging in drinking, but it could be anything that, yeah, can make you ungrounded, right? Any type of vice, any type of thing of that nature. Definitely got the chink in the shields here with the money, though. You might want to actually look into your finances real quick and just make sure that you don't have any bleeds. Make sure you don't have any bogus subscriptions anywhere. I mean, $5.99 a month adds up over time, y'all. You know, go through and check your cards and things like that. Just because you'll be able to do more then, right? Preparation, insight, and foresight, right? Plan it out. Make sure you plan out whatever it is that you're getting ready to do, right? Don't put yourself at detriment for others. Aquarius. Aquarius, we got the 8 of Cups. Moving on. Wanting to, needing to. We got Hoggle here, the Hierophant. And this that they just talk about how Hoggle focuses on his responsibilities, right? Hoggle, he maintains the labyrinth. He takes care of the fairy problem. He knows where all the ins and outs and doors are, and he, you know, that's his job. He's the main maintenance guy of the labyrinth, right? And I get a sense of, like, you know, is that hermiting into work here? There's something with it, though, right? There's definitely something with it, because you got the 3 of Feathers here, too. I can't see him once I put him up here. That's why I like to look at him for a minute. So, definitely got... feeling weird about this. There's something that needs to be moved on from. There's something with Hoggle, right? There's something with him. Like he doesn't like change. He likes things to be as he feels they should be, right? The Hierophant's all about traditions and beliefs and things like that, right? And Hoggle's very set in his ways. What? You don't help nobody unless they're going to give you something, right? I hate that energy, right? Oh, I'm not going to help these girls that are going to turn into fucking trash monsters unless they give me jewelry and things like that, right? Unless they give me junk. Right? And he also does a big game of not caring, but he does. And he does a big game of not being, you know. He says that I don't know if you're Hoggle. You could be Hoggle. Who am I on? Aquarius? You could definitely be Hoggle. Sorry. Or you're dealing with someone who's a Hoggle, right? I get a sense that somebody's focusing on work. Somebody is grumpy because they are not moving on from something, and it is putting them into a third-party situation. So if you're here because you're like, I don't understand why I can't drop my bad mood, it's because in the back of your subconscious, you're still in a third-party situation. Someone, somewhere, someplace is on your mind, and you don't like it. Okay? That's just all there is to it. You don't like it. Why? Because Hoggle's in charge. Hoggle's in charge of his own mind. Hoggle cares for nobody. Hoggle's a coward. Hoggle looks out for Hoggle. What? Hoggle wants to help somebody else, and it bothers Hoggle very much. So if that's your partner, they could be in a bad mood because they want to help more than they can with somebody. With the third party situation, the Three of Swords, we always say that's a choice to put you into those situations. I get a strong sense that it's like the optics are bad. I get a sense of, yeah, they want to help, but they feel like it will look bad on them to help. That makes sense? It would look bad on them to help this person. Or they're worried about what other people would say if they help this person. That's what's keeping it as this secret mental thought that keeps creeping up. But yeah, it's definitely an agitation. Also, things I feel like are changing. And that can make people grumpy. All right, Pisces. Pisces, this is beautiful. What? I got Page of Junks, Ace of Pots, and 10 of Pots. I got what? Manifesting junk. Manifesting junk. Right? Doesn't matter. Money. Right? That's what I love about this being junk, right? Everybody always assumes pentacles. Money, 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 money. Not necessarily money. Abundance has nothing to do with money. It really doesn't. Really doesn't. You can have an abundance of just about anything. Right? Got the Ace of Pots here. What you got cooking, huh? Got good stuff cooking. Got good stuff cooking. I got the 10 of Cups here. So you are on path, Pisces. Just keeping that energy. Just keeping that energy and I get the power of the pot, right? I get Pisces. I get the abundance that you might be pulling right now is food. If that's what you got to offer away, right? I love the Ace of Pots, and I love how the pots in this deck are all about cooking and food, right? Isn't that great? Definitely. I get a strong sense of putting love, just so much love into everything you make and everything you serve to everybody else. I mean, look how he's offering that up. I love this card. The veggies in the pot. Look, it's a vegetarian-friendly dish, I'm sure. Love you, girl. Alrighty. Lord. Let's just see. You got anything else you want to say before we roll out? Any final words? Sorry if that was all over the place and crazy, y'all. I'm doing my best to channel as clearly as I can. I told you guys there's a lot up in the air right now just with everything. And I told y'all, oh, I don't know. Should I do an astrology video? All right, I got getting the message mixed up with the messenger, right? Now, I get that a lot, especially in YouTube land, right? Right? Don't get the message mixed up with the messenger. I dealt with that a lot, right? Don't get the message mixed up with the messenger. Always use discernment, y'all out there. Use discernment. I also got here, I got funny how a melody sounds like a memory. It's always been a focus on being mindful of what kind of music you're listening to, right? If you're going to listen to something and you want to change your frequency, listen to something happy, right? If a melody sounds like a memory, that's what I love about music, honestly. Especially, you know, I don't know. I can remember people's faces better if I can connect them to music that we either listened to or sung together. Yeah, people are fools. You know the rules. Yes, people are fools. So if you're dealing with people getting the messages mixed up with the messenger, final message for y'all. I don't know when we'll see each other again, or what the world will look like when we do. But I'll always think of you when I need to be reminded that there is beauty and goodness. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I love y'all, and yeah. I'll be back as soon as I can, I promise. Remember, buttons and bells, man. It helps everybody out. Always. Don't be afraid to click them buttons and spank them bells. I'll talk to you later.